Evaluation of Blood Farmers by Sepideh, Aaron Mallory and Ruba. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media product? To enable us to create a successful horror film, we researched the codes and conventions that are commonly used in horror films. Peter Hutchings quoted, "The psychopath tends to be masculine as this stereotype as being the more dominant gender." Our group acknowledged this statement and tried to embed it into our extract. The psychopath in our extract is Aaron Mallory. We decided to use him as he is a masculine character, and this follows the general codes and conventions of horror. Another convention of horror films is that the killer often has a trademark weapon and uses it in such a way. We watched the film Sorority Row and discovered that this technique is embedded in the movie. We similarly use the weapon of a jagged piece of rectangular-shaped metal which our killer is holding in his right hand. This was our own invention of an original weapon, as we believe that knives are a common weapon to use. This creates a violent atmosphere and foreshadows the brutal events that are yet to be unleashed. Another character-based convention is the use of the girl as the protagonist in a horror movie. Females are stereotypically known as the weaker gender, therefore are more prone to be in higher danger in violent situations. This adds to the elements of suspense and conveys that the protagonist is in a deathly situation. We also found another convention in horror movies is the use of an isolated location as the setting. The purpose of this is to create a trapped environment where escape is not an option. It also emphasises the tension of the situation and puts the protagonist at a disadvantage. We did challenge the form of convention of horror films in one case. Violent scenes tend to occur at night time, as this period of time is associated with danger and threatening atmosphere. Contrastingly, we decided to shoot in broad daylight, as we wanted to go against the grain and did not want our opening sequence to be cliched. How does your media product represent particular social groups? The female gender tends to play the role of the victim in horror films. Our media product represents this as our victim, Maham Iftikhar, is a schoolgirl. She is portrayed as the underdog in comparison to the killer, Aaron Mallory. She seems defenseless and weak, which enhances the tension of the extract. It puts her into a more life-threatening situation as she is conveyed as not being able to defeat the murderer. Teenage girls are also represented as victims in events that involve stalkers, as they are conveyed as being innocent. They are young and naive and easy to trap in deathly situations. Most teenagers are an easy target for killers, as they tend to be generalised as being vulnerable and powerless when in situations involving a murderer. Male characters are widely used as offenders, as they are recognised as the dominant character. The stereotypical man is tall and muscular and can easily capture and kill a female. They seem more forceful in comparison to females. That's why Aaron Mallory plays the role of the murderer in our extract. What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? The production company of Blood Farmers is Universal Pictures. They are a minor company of NBC Universal, one of the 6 major American movie studios. Its main motion picture production or distribution arm is called Universal Pictures. We chose this company as they are famed, which attracts more people to watch our film. However, they tend not to produce horror films, although recently they have produced a few, such as Stay Alive and Dead Silence. Who would be the audience for your media product? The audience for our media product are people that enjoy watching horror films, as that is the genre of our opening sequence, Our target audience is teenagers and upwards, therefore our protagonist is a schoolgirl. This enables teenagers to relate to the character. We would classify the rating as a 15 because if the film progressed, we would embed gruesome scenes that would not be suitable for the viewing of a younger audience, as they may get frightened and disturbed. How did you attract or address your audience? As our audience is teenagers, we had to make it suitable for them. We done this by using a thrilling storyline of a lost girl in the presence of a serial killer. We enhanced our extract with the use of dramatic music to captivate our audience's attention. The fact that our main character was a student, it allows her to be relatable for the viewers. Since the audience will be looking for a thrill while watching it, we used a lot of tensing, sudden music or sounds to make the audience jump. This is seen a number of times in mirrors, which is one of the places where our inspiration came from. We kept it quiet, suspenseful, as the main aspect was of the girl walking through the forest. The audience automatically knows that something will happen during her walk, so it keeps them on the edge of their seat. This helped to keep them enthralled. What have you learned about technology from the process of constructing this product? To edit, we used mainly GarageBand and Final Cut Express. We hadn't used these often before, thus this allowed us to become familiar towards them. We had to be very specific with where and what we would use to edit the footage. We got this practice through the preliminary exercise, therefore we were not completely clueless. We decided not to use iMovie as this restricts us from adding various effects, whereas Final Cut Express enabled us to create a professional horror extract. One thing that I found difficult to work with was the camera recorder, as the background music was also recorded and it was not needed at times. For example, when we were filming near the pavement, the sound of passing cars were embedded into our opening sequence.